So I'm not going to give a very academic presentation about the law, about the legalities of all this. I'm just going to start by saying that I personally feel that Tan Sri Khalid Ibrahim, it's time for him to step down. Mainly because and my argument is very straightforward, and I'm not going to take too much time to explain this, but I want to go a little bit into the dilemma faced by PAS after this. But just commenting on Tan Sri Khalid Ibrahim, I think you should go for a very simple reason. I don't need, I think for me personally, I do not need all these legal arguments, all these technicalities, the procedures and all that. All I need to know is his own party has said that it is time for him to go. And if you join party politics, you abide by your party's decision. If you do not want to play by your party's rules, then you don't become a party politician. You become your own person. He was put in that position because of PKR. Yes, there are arguments about how PAS supported him, DAP supported him, but PAS and DAP would not have been able to support him if PKR did not nominate him in the first place. So the ultimate decision has to come from PKR, and the other parties have to respect that if they want to follow by the norms of Pakatan Rakyat. Otherwise, if you want to start saying that other parties have the right to comment on the appointment of Chief Minister or Menteri Besar in a state that has been allocated to another party, then DAP must have a say on who becomes Chief Minister in Kelantan. PKR must have a say on who becomes Chief Minister in Penang. And they wouldn't want to do this. I'm also a PAS member, by the way. I've been a member of PAS since 1992, but PAS has issued an instruction to all the members to not talk about this Menteri Besar issue. So, baju pun dah hijau kan. But I suppose having a president who is openly supporting someone who's defying his own party means that Hadi should be supporting me and not obeying the party's instruction. So this sets a very bad precedent for PAS because they are openly saying that it is okay to rebel against your own party. All party discipline is broken down. The reason why I'm not a party politician is because I just simply cannot obey party discipline. I want to be able to say what I want to say. So I decided not to join party politics. If you want to join party politics, like what Tan Sri Khalid has done, he should abide by his party's decision. So that's a very simple argument from a simpleton who's not really looking at things in a too complicated way. Okay, now comes the part that some of you may not like. I also feel that this whole mess is actually started by PKR. I'm trying not to look at you here. I also think that this whole mess is started by PKR. Now, if you really go back into the situation before GE13, there have already been moves to remove Tan Sri Khalid. But because I suspect, I haven't spoken to anybody, the deniability is very important to party sources, so I haven't checked with anyone, but apparently there have been moves before GE13 to remove Tan Sri Khalid. But they decided to still put him as a candidate in Pelabuhan Klang. And my suspicion is because they want to avoid the possibility of the other side challenging them on who will become the next MB. And they also want to avoid this possibility of the other side, BN and UMNO especially, saying that, if you say that the administration has been so good, why are you not nominating your previous MB again for this election? So all this will create political problems. So to avoid the problems and to avoid dealing with it head on, they put him there. And then, having campaigned for so long saying that the administration was so brilliant, Tan Sri Khalid is not corrupt, he has saved 3 billion ringgit of the people's money. Now they cannot find a reason to not make him MB again because he is such a brilliant person according to them. So this put them in a quandary, what do we do now? And they ended up actually appointing him or nominating him and making him MB again. I know that there have been all this idea about creating a steering committee and all this. I will not go into that, but basically there have been various promises broken by Tan Sri Khalid on the day that he saw taken the oath as Chief Minister. But this started with PKR deciding to accept Tan Sri Khalid as the MB again. And then came all these other problems, like initiating the Kajang move without talking to the other members of the coalition properly. And during the Kajang move, the argument was, no, ini bukan pasal MB. This is to catapult Selangor to a position where we can take over Putrajaya. And then suddenly now it has become about the MB. People can see this. We are no longer in an era where we accept everything that politicians say. And it's so easy to actually look back into history just a few months ago and say, actually, you lied to us. To add to that, they also nominated one of the, I'm trying to find a better word here, but the only word that came to my head is the worst possible candidate as replacement of Tan Sri Khalid, Datuk Sri Wan Azizah. In my mind, she will make a good MB. I have no problem with her personally. Yeah? But to put her, while she is still the wife of Anwar Ibrahim, smacks of cronyism, nepotism, corruption, everything that Pakatan is supposed to be fighting against. It also shows desperation, as if PKR does not have any other candidates, and the reality is they probably don't. So the mess started with PKR, and it continues today. Their insistence to keep the MB position and not wanting to initiate a conversation, why don't another party take over the MB post? This hesitance, this decision to not even start that conversation makes it, gives ammunition to people who want Tan Sri Khalid to stay. So the actions of PKR is not helping the situation now. And I think we need to add another factor into the equation here, which is I'm really not surprised that PAS is hesitant to support this argument that Tan Sri Khalid needs to be replaced. And you need to see PAS as a very diverse organization. I know that Dr. Zudi Mazuki, the Chief Operating Officer of Pusat Pendidikan PAS, has been severely criticized for the leaked WhatsApp message. I think the criticism against him is unfair. That 2 paragraph of WhatsApp message is really not enough to punish him, because he might be explaining various different things, over many pages of messages, and we are only seeing 2 of it. Two paragraphs, 2 very small paragraphs. And I know him as a person. We were together in the UK before, and he is definitely not a racist like some people are putting him to be. He's definitely not for the quitting of PAS from Pakatan Rakyat. I think he is actually one of the more progressive individuals within the party. So the criticism against him about that WhatsApp message, to me, is wrong. But it is really necessary for us to criticize him for the other messages that he put on his Facebook page, which is severely criticizing and attacking Anwar, being a dictator, being macam-macam lah cerita. So that is wrong. If you want to be a friend with someone, you do not do that. So I disagree with the idea that he should be criticized for the WhatsApp message. I think it is a non-issue and it should not be turned into an issue. But the fact that he put insulting statements to people who are supposed to be his own family members on his Facebook page is wrong. But we must also understand that PAS is a very diverse set of individuals. By insisting that Wan Azizah become the replacement MB, I think you now see a fracturing of the different groups in PAS. They're not necessarily from the same side. There are sides who say that Wan Azizah cannot be the MB because she is a woman. Some people may say it is sexism. I do not think it is. Because this is a way that some really conservative individuals interpret religion. We should debate with them in an intellectual way to say that they are wrong, and they are wrong. But we must accept that it is a valid school of opinion within the Islamic tradition. There are also individuals who say that Wan Azizah should not be the MB because she is related to Anwar, There are also people who just simply hate Anwar Ibrahim. There are people who say that by joining Pakatan Rakyat, PAS has a lot to compromise. So they, I think what we're seeing now within PAS is the convergence of this very, very diverse group of people who, if they meet each other on a day, they will not agree on anything. But because of the issue of Tan Sri Khalid Ibrahim, is giving them this ammunition to unite as one force. And we are seeing these conservative voices becoming stronger today in PAS, and it actually risks the splitting of the party. But that still does not negate the fact that I think Hadi Awang was wrong in making his statement. Dia melangkah bendul sikit when he actually issued a statement saying that he supported and he still supports Tan Sri Khalid to remain as MB. So some of the criticisms against PAS in this issue, I think, is really unfair on them. I think the criticism should be targeted at Hadi Awang, not necessarily at PAS as a whole. I think Hadi Awang is not really suitable to be the president of the party anymore. This can get me sacked from the party. But I really think people in PAS need to start talking about who is it in PAS that can really push the party forward and make the party a mainstream party. In fact, I would go as far as saying that, yang ni memang masalah besar ni, but I would go as far as saying that if the clash between the progressives and the conservative in PAS is so severe, the progressive should start thinking about splitting off from the conservative. Because I think it is really difficult to combine these two opinions together, and someone should start taking a stand at some stage. Besok dapat surat ni. So okay, that's a short comment about PAS. I think my opinion about Tan Sri Khalid is very straightforward. So, to conclude, this thing about moving forward, the title is "How do we move forward?" The ways forward. I think the way is only one actually. Tan Sri Khalid just need to go. That really raises a question about how do we select someone to replace him. I think PKR especially need to think very, very carefully about who they put as a replacement. If they put Wan Azizah as a replacement, they are literally saying to UMNO, please use this as an ammunition in GE14. Think very carefully about this, and it will be impossible for PKR and for Pakatan as a whole to defend this position in the next election. Because all your arguments about cronyism, nepotism and all that, people will just sweep it aside and say, but you're doing this in Selangor. That kills the argument. Thank you very much.